Hey, family, as we continue to talk about clarity this week, I realize that clarity is a superpower. It really is. It is the beginning of any and every endeavor that we have in life across the board. Clarity is what we need first before we start doing anything. And no clarity, no starting point. I had an experience today where I went to physical therapy, and I dreaded going to physical therapy for that very reason. And that is, I knew they were going to ask a lot of questions. That's what clarity is. Clarity is asking questions. You know, kids do it. Are we there yet? How much longer? How will we know when we get there? Are we done? What's next? Looking for clarity. Now, that's a simple example, but today I didn't want to go because I knew that they would ask questions, but if they didn't ask the questions, they wouldn't know where to begin. And they wouldn't know how to treat me. If they didn't ask the questions, they risk treating me in a certain way that amplified or increased my pain instead of decreasing the pain and getting to the bottom line. And so that's the same process, family, as high performers that we have to do in our own lives. Are you clear on where you're going in life? Are you clear on whether or not you're being a good husband or a good wife? Are you clear on how effective you are? Are you clear on your parenting and how effective you are as a parent? And so it's important that we ask questions. Now, many of us don't want to ask questions for one of two reasons, really. And I realized some of that today. When they were asking me certain questions, I didn't have answers. I didn't have answers to what might be triggering the pain. I didn't have answers. And that's okay. You're going to ask questions at times in your life and about your life. You are not going to have answers. That is okay. The willingness to ask the question, to consider possible answers, and to keep narrowing that thing down, that's getting clarity. Ask the questions, family. The other reason why some people hesitate on asking questions isn't because they don't know the answer. It really is because they really don't care to know what the answer is. They don't care about getting better. They don't care about improving, but that's not us. That is not you and I as spiritual high performers. We want to be clear on God's purpose for our lives as men and women. We want to be clear. Do you know how effective you are in life? Do you know where you're headed? Do you know what's next for you? Because you see, here's the thing. Living in purpose and living in clarity changes from time to time, but you have to keep asking the questions. And today, I just want to encourage you to be willing to ask questions, be willing to give answers, adjust the answers, ask more questions, give more answers. But by all means, family, let's get clear on where we're going and who we are. All right, I'm Stanley Nelson, spiritual high performance coach. And as always, family, I want to thank you for taking a few moments to spend this time with me. And I want to encourage you, stay aligned, stay encouraged, and most importantly, stay connected to God, because that truly is the only way to live. Be blessed.